The emaciated man hadn't eaten since his first attempt at a pot roast 4 weeks earlier. He could still recall the sweet, tender taste of the meat, how it had fallen apart on his tongue like it wanted to be devoured. That moment had offered brief sanctuary from the gnawing void inside him. But since then, fear had anchored him in place. The outside world was a threat he no longer trusted himself to face. His electricity had died in the second week. The mobile followed shortly after, stubbornly blinking its last breath before abandoning him. Now, even the hum of modern life had deserted the small house, leaving only the ticking of his heart and the wheeze of the wind through cracked window frames. With skeletal fingers, Samuel eased back the curtain a fraction of an inch and peered through the grime-streaked glass. The lounge beyond him was cloaked in dust and shadows. Outside, spring sunlight shimmered on damp pavements and cast dappled light through budding trees, life sprouting just beyond reach. But his neighbours, they were not right. They smiled too much, or not at all. They waved in unison, heads tilting in choreographed confusion. They frightened him in a quiet, precise way. He told himself, often aloud, that it wasn't his mind. It was the neighborhood, a strange place, a necessary move, somewhere cheap, somewhere forgotten. He let the curtain drop and turned to the kitchen. The air in the room clung to his skin, damp, metallic, tinged with decay. On the worktop, the bones, now brittle and bleached, sat in a careful pile. He had already boiled them, twice, for what little broth they had left. The meat had long since vanished into his memory. Samuel filled a large saucepan with water from the half-working tap and set it on the gas stove, one of the few things still functioning. The flame hissed to life, a rare comfort. He spooned in a meager portion of instant coffee and sipped it slowly, relishing the illusion of warmth and normalcy. He sat at the table, bones on the counter, watching like silent witnesses, and stared at nothing. His thoughts drifted like dust motes in the stale air, incoherent, looping, obsessive. Then a sound, a sharp, distinct clack. His head snapped up. A knock. He froze, unsure if it had been real. Another knock followed, firmer this time. Samuel stood, heartbeat quickening, stomach growling with desperate anticipation. Someone had come. At last, someone had knocked. He opened the door with deliberate calm, revealing a man in a cheap suit, clutching a tablet and smiling like he'd rehearsed it in a mirror, an insurance salesman. "Afternoon, sir. I just need a moment of your—" "I've got a coffee going," Samuel interrupted, his voice hoarse but civil. "Come in, please." The salesman blinked, thrown off script, but obliged. Samuel guided him into the kitchen with a hand that trembled ever so slightly. As the salesman crossed the threshold, the scent hit him, a dense, pungent aroma of rot and boiled marrow. His eyes darted to the worktop, bones, clean but not cleaned, arranged, not discarded. He opened his mouth to speak, or to retch. He never got the chance. The mallet came down with a thud, silencing thought, speech, and suspicion in one brutal arc. The salesman's body crumpled to the floor like an empty coat. Samuel stood over him, panting. He dropped the mallet with care, then gently pushed the bones aside to make space. The water on the stove was just beginning to bubble, and a strange sense of contentment settled over him. He fetched the carving knife from the drawer and smiled. Tonight, he would have another pot roast.